Hi everyone, I'm Jana.
Hey, I'm Oscar.
Hi, I'm Misha.
Hi everyone. We are here to talk about interesting stuff. As it's February, it is LGBT History Month, and we thought we'd get together. We've got the director of Blossom, which is part of Pride in Surrey, Oscar, and our exercise guru, Misha. Hi everyone, again. Um, yeah, so obviously, the theme of the LGBT History Month is mind, body, and spirit. So we thought we're going to talk a little bit about some sports people who are LGBT and made history. So how about we start with that, and then we're going to go and talk about nutrition, which Oscar is really good with, and then do some talk about exercise, which Misha is expert on. And then perhaps we'll finish with some yoga.
Sounds good.
Gonna get
Yeah.
bendy.
Right. So the LGBTQ community has been historically underrepresented in the sporting world. So nowadays, and while there is still a long way to go, the sports world is opening up, and this is thanks in part to some of the great LGBTQ ambassadors who have broken barriers and shattered stereotypes. Now, the first one I'm going to mention, their name is Renee Richards. Now, it's not the most famous on my list that I put together. However, she was an absolute trailblazer. Over 40 years ago, she won a court battle to play in the 1977 US Open as a woman following a gender reassignment surgery. I'm really surprised that actually in 1977 that happened, because that's absolutely fantastic. The following year, she reached the final of the US Open women's doubles tournament. She would then go on to become a spokesperson for transgender sports people. I've got to be honest, as much as I love tennis, I've not heard of Renee Richards. So it was really nice to find this little bit about her. And I think it's fantastic going back to 1977.
It's really interesting. It's a fight that we're still having to make at the moment, isn't it? With trying to let trans people enter sports as the gender that they are. It's still a huge struggle. So it's really interesting to sort of see that actually we really should be making more progress on this ground, considering we've been having this fight for so long.
It's a very difficult subject, this one, because, yeah, I mean, we know Martina Navratilova was called transphobic because her idea was a little bit like, well, you can't compete. But she did apologize for that, but she still stands she's saying until there's been more research about how the people are affected once they go through a transition. We can't. Yeah, I suppose we just got to wait and see what happens. But it would be nice if more trans people were allowed to do sports, obviously in the category that they should be in. But I think it's a very difficult subject. The next one on my list, Megan Rapinoe. A lot of younger people will know her because she's still playing professional football in America. Oscar shaking his head. Never heard. No. Have you heard of Megan Rapinoe, Misha?
I have, yeah.
I watched. Oh my God, it was a couple of years ago. World Championships, women played, and she was fantastic. And she looks great. Obviously a lesbian, and a very attractive one too. But she's the current captain of the US national team, as well as the winner of both the Golden Ball and Golden Boot awards. She won at 2019. Rapinoe works alongside a number of LGBTQ organizations and has been awarded a place on the board of directors at the Los Angeles Gay and Lesbian Center. She's also a spokesperson for Athlete Ally, which aims to stop homophobia and transphobia in the sporting world. So there you go. Yeah, she's fighting for the trans rights within the sports community, which is really, really great. And yeah, she's an absolute rocket. If you watch her play, she is incredible. So yeah, next time the World Championships are on, watch it. You will like her. Maybe not YouTube. I will definitely be watching that. Ian Thorpe, does that ring a bell to you, Oscar?
No.
No. Ian Thorpe is an Australian swimmer and fantastic guy. I've watched him swim. What he achieved in the swimming world is absolutely incredible. He's known by many as a torpedo. He's one of the most successful swimmers of all time. He has won 5 Olympic gold medals. And guys, I can't even think that. How is that even possible? He literally, I watched the Olympics when he swam and won those medals. And it's like, is he going to get another one? How is he doing that? He really is a torpedo. Absolutely fantastic. It is actually the highest number won by any Australian athlete. I mean, the amount of energy that goes into winning 5 Olympic medals. Can't even imagine. Yeah, fantastic. He came out in 2004, actually on a UK TV show. Seems like a lot of people that are sports people actually have come out on UK TV shows, even though they were not British, which is really great. He's a supporter of the Australian Marriage Law Postal Survey, campaigning in support of same-sex marriage to be legalised in Australia. So yeah, that's really fantastic as well. Oscar, there is a sports person that you are familiar with, and perhaps maybe like him a little bit. So do you want to talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, Tom Daley. So one of the only LGBT sports people that, when we were talking about it, I could actually think of. So Tom Daley is an open LGBT person. He's won 2 Olympic medals, a medal at the Commonwealth Games, and also at the World Aquatics Championship 2019 now, so not last year anymore. But I mean, more importantly, is that Tom represents something that for ages seemed very sort of unachievable, which is a comfortable LGBT family. You know, he's got a husband and a child, and that's something that is very uncommon within sort of the sports community, as far as I know, where you see sort of real happy representation of an LGBT family. So of course he does all of these amazing things sportsmanship wise, but also there's, and you know, it's just nice to see an LGBT family that is just represented normally, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So
I love Tom Daley. I mean, he started very young. He was only 15, I think, when he got his first medal, and the amount of work he's put in is incredible. So yeah, and he's got his YouTube channel, and he still keeps going. He's doing a lot of exercises and for people, and you know, he's extremely fit. He really is. But you can tell he's been working hard all his life, really. So good on him. Who we got next? Yeah. We do like Tom Daley, I've got to be honest. Actually, Great Britain is fantastic. It's so full of amazing sports people. Whether they are LGBT or not, there's a lot of good sports people in this country. So that's something to be really, really proud of. The one I absolutely love is Nicola Adams, who's OBE as well. Boxing. Legend, living legend, absolutely fantastic girl. She is British most successful female boxer of all time. I remember watching her at the London Olympics 2012. She became an icon after winning her country's first ever female boxing gold medals. And as an openly LGBT person, she came out bisexual. She then actually repeated her success in Rio in 2016, which isn't an easy thing to do, to go to 2 Olympics and actually repeat the amazing success. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. She's openly bisexual and was named the most influential LGBT person in Britain by The Independent in 2012. In recognition of her services to boxing and and all the other achievements. Nicola was appointed MBE in 2013 and then OBE in 2016. So yeah, fantastic girl. Actually, recently she was on, was that dancing program?
Strictly.
Yeah, she was on Strictly Come Dancing. Unfortunately, I didn't watch it. I really wanted to see what a boxer lady would be like dancing, but I didn't get a chance to see it. But I do hear she went out quite early on as well. Do you know anything about that?
I think I've seen one episode. She wasn't too bad, but she wasn't definitely not cut out to to dance all the way through in that competition. But she wasn't like too bad, you know. I think she was okay.
I thought she actually had to leave because her partner got sick. So it wasn't because she wasn't good. I think she went out because the partner she was dancing with perhaps contracted COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really sad because, you know, being a sports person of her caliber, she probably would have done really well, I think.
Well, you have the determination and, you know, the competitiveness to carry on whatever, you know, so that's really important. And for these people driving, they can do, if they set something in their mind, they can just carry it on. And it doesn't have to be their sport, but because it's their mentality, they can just achieve lots of different things.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think the thing with sports people is, because I remember Martina Navratilova that I like to talk about. She did a version of Strictly in America, and just the way she just couldn't move, bless her. And I feel like sports people, and especially someone like boxer or tennis player, that are used to that certain movement, and then they become quite rigid when it comes to dancing, because I don't know, it did look a little bit rigid watching Martina, but maybe Nicola was better. I don't know, I can't tell because I didn't see her. Right, we've got, talking about tennis, I'm not going to talk about Martina, but I think Misha would like to talk about somebody else from tennis who I think is a fantastic sports person.
Well,
Who is it?
I think she's a legend as well. And not only she's the world #1 professional tennis player, and it's Billie Jean King. She's 77 years old, so, you know, we're going back in the day, but she achieved so much, and there's so much information about her, so I just needed to pick up like the really good ones. So at the age of 29, she won the Battle of Sexes tennis match, which is quite a legendary thing. And she was in the French Open of 1972. She was the only fifth woman, only 5 women in tennis history to win single titles in all 4 Grand Slams events. I mean, that is quite incredible if you ask me. She's got 39 Grand Slams titles, and she achieved so much in her tennis career. It's just unbelievable. She's also a founder of the Women's Tennis Association. But the interesting bit here, she was married to Larry, to a young sweetheart, but she soon realized she's attracted to women, and she actually fell in love with her partner Lana Kloss back in the day as well. But she was married for a long time to her husband until about 79 or whenever they divorced. But they became really good friends, and he actually is supporting her in whatever she's doing. So I think she's a bit of a legend in every possible way, not in just tennis, but in everything else she does.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Not only a fighter on the tennis court, but fighting, you know, for LGBT rights. And yeah, absolute living legend. I love her. She's a member of the National Gay and Lesbian Sports Hall of Fame. And actually, recently, she's been outspoken about all the homophobic and transphobic comments made by Margaret Court, which we're all a little bit upset about. And she does think that Margaret Court Arena in Australian Open should be renamed. And yeah, I don't think that's happened yet. But I also think someone as transphobic and homophobic shouldn't have something as big as a arena in a big place like that called after them. So hopefully that will happen.
I will change, yeah. But she is definitely a fighter, even at the this age and stuff. She's a legend, absolutely, in every way.
Yeah, and to me, anyone in tennis is a legend. I love tennis, as you guys know. I absolutely love tennis. But yeah, who else we got? I think we've done almost all of them, but there are two people that hasn't maybe quite achieved as much as the people we've been talking about. But they are part of the sports heroes of Stonewall, which is a big LGBT charity that Oscar knows about. But one of them is Lizzie Williams, who is a wheelchair racer, and she's a British athlete competing internationally as a wheelchair. Why can't I say wheelchair? Such a difficult word to say. Racer on the track. She's a big believer in turning wounds into wisdom and seeing purpose through pain. So Lizzie has always excuse me. She says, sport has always meant freedom to me, but so many LGBT people can't be their authentic self in sport. My hope is to make sport a more inclusive and welcoming place for everyone. Sport is for everyone, and it naturally doesn't discriminate because it's about the passion we have and the desire to do our best. The sport world needs to recognize the LGBT inclusion improves everyone's experience. Everyone deserves the opportunity to access sport without anxiety or hesitation, and to be able to progress within a sport knowing they are supported by their team and governing bodies. I mean, for me, anybody that's disabled and does sport on the level like these people do in Paralympics, I think it's fantastic. Every time Olympics are on, I make sure I watch all of the Paralympics, and I sit there and I cry because I am so proud of any Paralympian. I think it's incredible achievements when you win medals and compete on the level that they do.
Yeah, definitely. It's not only difficult to be disabled anyway, but to achieve what they do, it's just phenomenal. And I'm like you, I'm in awe in that, and I do cry most of the time as well because it's just phenomenal, really.
Yeah. Oscar, do you watch Olympics?
No, obviously I'm sat here listening about all of these different sports people, and I'm so in awe because they've all achieved these amazing things. And I'm here, I don't even watch football when it's on the telly. Like, I don't think I've ever sat through a whole televised sports event ever.
Oh, wow. It's okay. We'll get you into sports after this.
Yeah.
And not just diving. Anyway, I really think that we should end our list with my absolute favorite living legend, Martina Navratilova. I love her. I've watched her. Actually, she wasn't my first one. My first big idol was Monica Seles, who really that's quite a sad story. She's an LGBT, or not as far as I know. But yeah, I used to watch Monica Seles, and when I was early teens, and absolutely love her. She was absolutely incredible. She achieved so much, and then unfortunately she got attacked at one of the tournaments by a fan of Steffi Graf at the time, who really didn't like Monica winning everything. And yeah, it was quite awful. He stabbed her in the back. While they were playing a match. So, in a break when she sat down to have a drink, he attacked her from behind. And that was literally the most heartbreaking. She survived, but she never got back to playing tennis professionally, which I know this has got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I just think such an incredible person. and it was really sad that she had to finish her career because someone did that to her. And obviously, she then stopped playing. I was very upset, and I had to find somebody else to admire and adore. And Martina was the person that just like really stood out, and I started watching her and following her, and I got a little bit obsessed with her. But yeah, because she just achieved so much. Obviously, she's from my end of the world as well. She was born in Czechoslovakia. Back then, it was Czechoslovakia. She has become American, and actually, she now got both citizenships. She managed to get her Czech, so she had to emigrate into America because Czechoslovakia, being a communist country at the time, just didn't allow her to do very much when it came to tennis. And if she did play a tournament and won the money, she had to give a lot of it to the government. So it was really strange back then. So she decided for her to get better, she had to emigrate to America and apply for the citizenship, which was really sad to lose her as a Czechoslovakian sort of sports person. But she carried on and she became the best. Without doubt, she's regarded as one of the greatest tennis players of all time. She won unbelievable. I mean, this is unbelievable. 59 Grand Slam titles, including 18 in singles competition, and she also spent 332 weeks as the world's #1 female tennis player. I mean, but yeah. And also, she's known as an outspoken advocate for LGBTQ rights, as we know.
Yeah, I mean, when I didn't know her, I thought you were going to kill me when I said I didn't know who she was. Look on your face, yeah.
I was really rather upset. But yeah,
I know her as well because she comes from the neck of the woods I come from. So I grew up with their career. So yeah.
I used to coach tennis when I lived in Prague. I used to coach tennis, and I did. I tried to remember what's the village called where she comes from. I really wanted to go there and just see where she was born and where she used to play tennis, but never actually got to do it. Although it wasn't far from where I was coaching. But yeah, I did, and that was my biggest dream when I was, I think, 16, 17. My biggest dream was one day to go to England. Go to Wimbledon and meet Martina Navratilova. And I can't tell you guys, when I stood there outside Wimbledon's gate talking to Martina, it literally was like the biggest dream come true. And we had a little photo taken together, and I'll never forget that day. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, there you go. But Martina also, she was a big advocate of sort of trying to make people understand that it isn't just about the sports you do. It was about trying to do different sports as well, and get fit in other ways. And also she was all about nutrition and eating well and healthy, because she did actually have problems when she got to America. When she left Czechoslovakia, went to America, and the food was so different, and she was eating so much American food, and she put on so much weight. She got quite chubby. I don't know how she managed to run around the court, but obviously then she really got into her nutrition and different kind of exercise and stuff. So that's something we're going to talk about next, perhaps, Oscar.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about nutrition?
Yeah, well, sort of calorific and that sort of thing. I mean, anyone who's sort of kept up with the Not Alone sort of shows since the start of lockdown can probably tell that I've lost, well, quite a lot of weight, coming up 2 stone at this point, would you believe? And for me, obviously, understanding nutrition was really important because I couldn't work it out. I was like, well, I think I eat healthy. I think I'm eating all right-ish. I can't understand why I'm ballooning. And actually, it comes down to the fact that I was eating a diet that just really was really high in sort of fat. It didn't have a lot of nutritional value in it either. and sort of it really helped to understand calories. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's really important you have this massively calorie controlled diet, because actually that ruins it. I mean, there's not, for me personally anyway, there's no fun in sitting counting every calorie. It's a case of being able to understand what I can and can't eat within sort of a limit. I mean, obviously we're talking history, so let's go into a little bit of it. Sort of calories were first used to measure the efficiency, actually of steam engines, would you believe? 1 calorie is the energy required to heat 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree. So it's weird how it's sort of, it's feeding a steam train and now it's feeding us. I've got a lot less steam normally than a train all the time. But actually in the 18th century, it started to be used to describe food, because obviously it fuels us the same way it fuels other things. But really, it wasn't until the 1860s that calories were used as sort of a measurement of energy. And I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of established that a gram of carbohydrate or protein provided 4 calories of energy. So it's quite a loose sort of thing. And a gram of fat provides 9 calories. So that's kind of how you can understand how it's worked out. Luckily, everything is printed on packaging now, so we've got nowhere near as much stress there.
Yeah.
And in the 1930s was when the government started to introduce using calories as like a form of measurement. I think now, and I mean I could be a little bit wrong here, but somebody who was born a male, so has sort of the male anatomy, is required to eat roughly 2,500 calories a day to maintain their body weight or a healthy body weight. And for someone who was born genetically a woman, or female, sorry, you have a few less at 2,000 calories to sort of maintain a healthy body weight. So that's assuming that you're already in that sort of, if you use BMI, I know a lot of people don't, but assuming that you're identified as a healthy weight, then that's sort of where you want to be. You could reduce that slightly to create a bit of a deficit to lose a bit of weight, but actually, if you're trying to lose weight and you're already a bit over sort of the what's a healthy weight, I use healthy weight in quotation marks because obviously it's different for everybody, then you could just stick to your standard amount of calories that's assigned for you and exercise a bit. There's not always this pressure to create a deficit or to undereat, because of course undereating can cause all sorts of mental problems as well as physical problems. So that's kind of where nutrition comes from. But generally, a nice balanced diet. I mean, if you just do a cookalog once a week with Molly and Jana, you'll see that actually it's just about eating the right things and lots of veggies, having more vegetables on your plate than other sort of things, and protein, not deep fried and full of carbohydrates, that sort of thing, really. That was a quick stop tour.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. And yeah, I'm so glad that the calories are printed on the packages of everything these days, because a lot of people are looking at it. I mean, myself and Molly, as you probably know, we started 5-2 diet about 2 or 3 months ago, and we really like it. I've never done a diet in my life, because I just love food. I really do love food. For me, dieting was never an option. So I always exercised to keep my weight down or keep fit. But older you get, more difficult it becomes. So now these days, it's not just exercise. I've got to be looking at calories I consume as well. And actually, I thought 5-2 diet is perfect, because 5 days a week, you can eat your normal calories, which is, did you say 2,000 for women, didn't you?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, and the 2 days in the week, you lower your calorie intake, and we should be 500, but so we do 600. So we do 2 days a week, 600 calories only. That's your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 200 calories each. It's not much, but it's 3 meals. But if you make them like nutritionally balanced, and you can feel really quite full, actually. Especially now, after doing it for a couple of months, I feel on my fasting days like I'm doing fine. I don't feel hungry anymore. It's just my body's kind of used to it. But what I'm trying to say, this isn't just to lose weight. I think there's benefits of giving your body a break every week and just consuming a little bit less, because then it gives your body a chance to recover from the days when you're eating perhaps too much.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I mean, for me, I try to avoid being on diet because diets tend to be short-lived for me. For me, it's more about sort of creating that a long-lasting change. I think I tried Weight Watchers and I tried all of those diets, you know, the army style diets, that sort of things, and they've never worked for me. So actually, just having that sort of, instead of calling it a diet as such, but having that sort of lifestyle change, and for you, that could be having a couple of days where you eat a bit less. I found way more beneficial than actually sticking to a diet or having shakes. That never worked for me.
Well,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, coming from a fitness background myself, I never liked diets. For me, that's just, there's so many on the market. You can do, the shakes, the cabbage, whatever. And I think that's a really short-term lived thing. Because once you start eating normally, of course you have to put on weight. So as you said, Oscar, brilliantly, it's about your lifestyle. You need to change your lifestyle and you need to put a really good stuff into your body to feel good as well. And as we are in a mind, body, and spirit, when you eat lots of really bad food, it doesn't make you feel good, does it? It makes you feel sluggish because the sugar overload is just messes with your brain as well, because it's all connected. When you start eating healthy and you feel the benefits of all the green and the vegetables and everything, your brain functioning differently as well. And it is a scientifically proved that your brain works very differently with different type of foods. I mean, we could be talking about this for days because it's very interesting for me. But I put it really bluntly and to everything, because I'm a personal trainer as well. Everyone comes and asks me, diet, blah, blah, blah. And I said, it's about changing your lifestyle. It's all about moderation. There needs to be, because once you start as well diet or whatever you're taking away from it, you will start craving it more. Okay, so it's all about moderation. And as Jana pointed as well, the 5-2 diet. As I said, I don't like diets, but it works for you and it's absolutely fine. It's everyone's got different opinion. But as you said, you need to give your body a break sometimes. So there's the intermittent fasting as well, which is basically eating later in the day. And that's what I've been doing for quite some time as well. So because I'm not a morning person, I don't really like breakfast. So I kind of start eating about 11 and it works really well for me. But I think one thing for anyone, and not just sports people or just normal people and all of us in the world, is all about moderation with everything you do in life, not just the body, not just the spirit, not just the food, but everything you do, you just need to do in moderation. That's my opinion. Obviously, not everyone will agree, but that's what I believe in. And I've been in fitness for so long and I've seen so many different things. And I think moderation and a good outlook on your lifestyle is very, very important.
Absolutely, Michelle. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, everything in moderation. And that's how I see the 5-2 diet. I think it's moderation. I don't see it as a diet. I see it actually as something I could probably do, perhaps even for the rest of my life, because it isn't difficult.
Yeah.
Your body gets used to it, and your body just feels so much better. Just have 2 days a week, when you eat a bit less, and it can be more than 600 calories. Just reduce your calories intake for those 2 days. I love it. I'll probably carry on with it for as long as I live. Maybe that's what Molly's telling me.
And that's very good. And you chose it lifestyle, your family lifestyle, and it works for you. And that's very important.
Yeah, cool. Right. Anything else we have to talk about?
But we obviously coming up to the nutrition and the lifestyle, it comes to my passion, which is the fitness. And I've been doing fitness for a very long time. And there's lots of myths about fitness. And as we're talking about history, I'll go a little bit back to history, but we're going back many, 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 many years and years ago. Fitness is not, nowadays, fitness is about not necessarily how we look. It shouldn't be. It used to be. There are lots of stages while fitness involved. But when we're going back in the days, sort of Romans or even a caveman. It wasn't a fitness, but it was their lifestyle. They had to hunt for food, or they were in a battles or something like that. So they used a physical activity. And fitness, physical activities, whatever you want to call it, is very important for us. So if you look back how people actually looked and lived back in the day, they were pretty healthy because they didn't have any refined sugars or any really bad foods there, because they actually ate whatever they grew. But also they used to walk everywhere because they didn't have cars. So it just, I could be here talking about this for a very, very long time. But it goes back in the day, so many years, when physical activity was very important and it was part of their lifestyle. But as the days kind of went and the society became a little bit more, say, lazy, because we had cars, we invented cars, we invented ready meals, we invented television, and we kind of became a bit more sedentary because we could go to the shop in a car because it was more convenient, it was shorter, and it was better. So why not to do that? We all use cars nowadays as well. Why not to sit in front of TV for 2 hours? Because, well, why not? We have the TV. And that all comes to kind of becoming a bit more lazy and not doing as much physical activity as the people did before, because they didn't have any of those things. So physical activity is very important to me and lots of people, and I think it's becoming more important for people now as well, because it's the benefits of physical activity or any fitness or anything you do. It doesn't have to be crazy fitness activity. It could be walk or anything. It makes you happier. Why it makes you happier? Because it your body, the chemical, what you call it, the reaction, what it does in your body and your brain, is to makes you happier, because it gives you the endorphins and all those chemicals which they makes you happy and a little bit more or less anxious, a little bit more or less depressed. So it's got lots of benefits. But I will be here forever if you let me. So
Sorry, we'll stop you at some point.
yeah, so one thing I want to say is that exercise offers incredible benefits that can improve nearly every aspect of your life and your health. And that's all I need to say. It just improves every aspect of your life. And it can be from being a better person, being happier, being healthier, better skin, looking better, sexual drive, and everything like that improves. So it literally improves every little aspect of your life. So why wouldn't you do it?
Well, do you know what? You're so right. I mean, for me, I can feel the difference. I sort of from not exercising and eating whatever I wanted, sort of to now, I feel happier in myself. You know, I used to get tired just walking up to the shop, which is only 10-minute walk, if that. Sort of the noticeable difference. I look forward to exercising after work every day because I think it's a fantastic way to reset my mind and to get me feeling calm for the evening and stuff. You can really notice it once you've got it in there, and once it's not just forcing yourself to exercise, which it is at first, but once you've got past that, you really start to feel how positive it is for you.
I think it's about educating yourself. Why would you do it? What the benefits are, how it actually affects your life and your head, as you said as well, and how you reset. And I think when you educate people why you're doing it, and it doesn't, people think, oh, exercise, it has to be crazy, high intensity. So it doesn't have to be. It could be a tiny exercise, but anything you do. So it's just a lifestyle. Again, like your nutrition, like your food. It's all about your lifestyle. And it's very important to make it work for you as an individual and for your mind. And I think you can tailor anything to anyone on the planet, really.
Absolutely, anyone can do it. There's no excuses, and yeah, it certainly makes me happy when I do exercise. If I haven't haven't done, and I actually haven't done exercise for a week now, and it makes me sad. It really does, and I feel like something really big is missing in my life. But I've been busy, didn't get a chance to do it. But I know, like, I will be doing some exercise in a minute, and I will be doing at least 2 or 3 exercises over next week. So yeah,
That's again important. You can see how it affects you already, not doing it for a week. but then people get into the bad habits as well, not doing it at all. But it's all about LGBT and everything. It's about educating people, and once you educate them well and they kind of get the information they need to, then they can make their own decision. And I think it's just so important to educate in every aspect, not just fitness, not just, you know, everything. And if you educate yourself, you make yourself a better person, not for anybody, but for yourself, because you have more information, you can give more to other people as well. And that's what I love about fitness. It's about giving people to what I know and what I love, to give it away and make them feel the way it makes me feel. And that's the one thing I just want to do it for the rest of my life. I'm not doing it for myself necessarily all the time. I do it because I love it. But when I can go back to doing group exercise classes, it's just all about the smiles on people's faces. Or even if you're doing it just here and then you get the feedback saying, no, this was great, it's just that's it for me. I don't need anything else.
You can hear in Misha's voice, she's so incredibly passionate about what she does, and it's fantastic. And it is, because you need to find the right way of exercising. And for some people, it's on their own, going out for a run, going, you know, for a cycle. For some, like myself, I like to go in a gym, and I never in my life thought I'd be doing classes in the gym until I met Misha. And since then, I just like, yeah, I love classes. This is great, because if you get the right sports instructor that is as passionate as Misha and actually cares about how you do it and what you do, it makes all the difference. And you want to go back in that class and do it with them again. So Misha, thank you again for that.
That's fine. There's one thing I would like to point to when we're talking about mind, body, and spirit is just one more thing. People sometimes think that if you go into the gym or you've got a fitness instructor or anyone who's doing fitness, they should be looking at a certain way. We say, yeah. People think, when I started the gym, I thought, well, I have to have six pack to be able to do that and stuff like that. And I really don't like that. And I think why people come to my classes, not necessarily, I might be wrong, but people do tell me that as well, is because I don't have a six pack. I don't have a bulging biceps. I look, say, normal. There's no normal way, but I just look the way I do. But what I can do within it, that's what's important. So there's the myth how you should look. It doesn't, I don't think it matters. As long as you feel healthy, you eat healthy, you do what you're supposed to do, the way you look is very irrelevant, to be honest. When you look at me first, you will think, she doesn't look like she's doing 10 classes a week, does she? But what I can do myself and how strong I feel and how I feel here, that's what makes me keep going. And I don't necessarily, I would say I don't care about how I look. I do, but I don't look like someone who is doing 10 classes a week if you've got a different build. And it's, again, different builds and stuff like that. But I just want to say, don't judge people by the way they look or what they do. It's about what they do it, how they do it, and how they feel.
Exactly. It's completely personal, isn't it? It's all about you at the end of the day. I went into it thinking, oh, I'll have a six pack one day. And actually, I don't want that. I just want to feel happy and comfortable. I mean, it'd be nice, don't get me wrong. Imagine all the boys I'd pull.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, maybe a bit late for me for a six pack. Although never is
Never too late.
Never too. Oh my God. Anyway, so talking about all this exercise, maybe we should do one. What do you think?
I am ready, and absolutely we should do one.
So in line with mind, body, and spirit, I think we have decided to do a little bit of yoga. What is that? What we're doing? Yoga? We are, aren't we?
We are. Yeah, no, we're doing a yoga, and today yoga is about practice to find energy for your day. So to feel energetic and get us kind of going. It's not crazy, it's really nice, but kind of to get us going. But at the end as well, the little important bit at the end is just all about yourselves, and you will find out what we're going to do while we're doing it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Such a beautiful connection as well. for the mind, body, and spirit, because I do feel like yoga isn't just about body, but it is about your mind, because you do need to try to switch off and focus on what you're doing, and it can be quite a beautiful thing when you just stop thinking about everything else and just focusing on what you're doing. So yeah, I love a bit of yoga. So show us what to do.
Good. Right, I'm just gonna pull the blind out because it's get a bit dark here.
Yeah, me too. I'll be 2 seconds.
There you go, better. And all you need is just a bit of space, really.
We're shutting the curtains in this house. Don't need people watching.
Also, you look like you're sweating already, darling.
It's a bit warm in the house today. Dean's had his way with the heating.
Right, so we will start in a child pose. Hopefully
My favourite.
Well, so if you can get into a nice child pose, I would like your knees to be nice and wide. Okay? So long arms and sit into those heels, widen those knees, and put your forehead onto the floor. I want you to kind of melt your heart into that floor and deepen your breathing and focus on every single inhale and every single exhale. And when every single exhale, I want you to just let go and melt yourself into your mat. I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale. I would like to do it about 3 times and take a deep breath in and out and really melting that heart into the floor. Trying to let go of everything and trying to relax your body as much as you can. All right, take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, come onto your fours. So knees underneath your hips and hands underneath your shoulders. Right, tuck your toes under, lift your bum up into downward dog. So just gently lift. And what I want you to do is to bring your biceps to your ears, chin to chest, and pedal. So don't just stand there, just get a movement going nicely. Pedal, get the feel into those hamstrings, into your buttocks. Move a little bit side to side if you can, a little rotation of your hips. Your head just hang nicely between your arms. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Once you pedal, I want you to just stop and go to a nice stillness. I want you to take a deep breath in and out 3 times, just on your own. I kind of want you to hear breathing out as well, okay? That's important. That's it, don't be shy. Breathe in and out. Lovely. Now, slowly bring your feet to the front of the mat or anywhere. Feet together. Touch the floor again by bending your knees as well. Just stay here for a little bit. Find the ground. And now, lift all the way up for me. And all the way down to forward fold. Lift halfway. So hands onto your knees or your thighs. Make sure that your back is nice and straight and long. Now fall back down, hands onto the floor, and step your left foot back into a lunge. Make sure that your knee is over your ankle. Now drop the back knee to the floor and just lift all the way up. and stretch your arms to the ceiling. Don't forget to breathe. We come down. Hold on to the floor just with your fingertips if you can, and lift the back knee off the floor. There. You feel that? Now, if you can, we're going to progress here a little bit. If you need to drop your knee to the floor, that's absolutely fine. If not, lift all the way up. So stretching all the way up. The back knee is lifted if you can. If not, not a problem. You can drop it to the floor like we done in the first bit. Now we come down, dropping the knee to the floor, falling all the way forward. Extend the front leg and stretch your hamstring. So here, fingertips to the floor, or if you've got any books or anything you can put there, that's fine. But try to keep your hips square to the front. Try to keep your back as long as possible and looking forwards.
Ooh, feeling a bit tight today.
Right, come forward. Step your left leg to the front. Take a deep breath out, come up all the way up to the ceiling. Breathe out, forward fall. Halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Come down. Step your right foot back. Remember, knee over your ankle there. Drop the back knee to the floor. Lift all the way up. So we're gonna start speeding up a little bit as we go along to feel a little bit more energized. But take your time if you need to. Bring it back down. Lift the back leg off the floor if you can. Don't worry if not. And lift all the way up. You could feel your belly firing there when you lift all the way up and the back knee is lifted. Can you feel that? So
oh yeah.
Arms down to the floor. Drop your knee to the floor. Extend the front leg. It's a nice hamstring. So you can see the flowing. Nice to hear. Yeah, the flow. Very important. I come forward. Step your foot forward as well. Now, hands onto the floor. Step to plank position for me. Drop your bum down. So palms on firmly onto the floor, on your tiptoes, body weight forward. Drop your belly down and to downward dog.
I don't know if you can hear my tummy. It's so loud.
We're gonna lift your left leg back into three-legged dog. So left leg back. Now bring it all the way forward between your arms, between your hands. Drop the knee to the floor. We're gonna do the sequence one more time. Lift all the way up, arms to the ceiling. Arms down. Lift the back leg off the floor, or back knee off the floor. And lift all the way up. Fire in your glute, your legs, your core. Bring it down. Step forwards. Hands onto the floor, back to plank. It's my favorite exercise, by the way. Back down. Plank, okay? You need to bring your body weight forward so your hands are underneath your shoulders. Now, back to downward dog. Lift your right leg up. Nice and high. Feet it forward between your hands. Drop the knee. Lift all the way up. Take a deep breath. Lift all the way up. Come all the way down. Lift the back knee off the floor. We lift again. Really strong here. This is a tough one to come from down all the way up.
Yeah.
Hands down to the floor. Now step your foot back into plank. Okay, now lower those down. So there's two options. You can go and do like a tricep press and come all the way down, just like this. Or when you are in your plank position, you drop your knees, then you drop your hips, and then you come to cobra. So this is a half cobra, this is a full cobra. So it's up to you where you want to be. Right, take a deep breath, tuck your toes under, lift up to downward dog. Yeah. Right, take a pedal here in the downward dog. Under those hamstrings, those feet, hamstrings.
I'm doing what I can not to flash the camera whilst we do.
Doing fine.
Back to dog.
Oh
Now
my goodness.
Lift your left leg back, lift your left leg, and bring your left leg to your nose. So you go to back to plank and bring in your left knee into your nose.
Oh my goodness.
You lift up to three-legged dog. You bring your knee to your nose. One more time. Knee to nose. Back to plank. And back all the way down to cobra. Take a breather here. I want your hands just by your chest. Deep breath in and lift halfway. We come down. Tuck your toes under. Lift downward dog.
Oh.
The other leg is going up, so we can move down. I've done left, so we're going to right. Three-legged dog. Knee to nose. Three-legged dog. Knee to nose. Down to knee to nose. Drop your bum and really hold it. You can see every muscle firing at the moment. You do it one more time. Plank. And down to cobra. Lift up halfway. Oh, that's a good one. Right, tuck your toes under. Now lift up and come to a tabletop. So knees underneath your hips and hands underneath your shoulders. Right, you're gonna do a cat cow. So you're gonna do tucking your belly in and rounding your back. Never breathe here because I've got one more sequence for you to do. Round your back, draw your belly in, and release. Going your belly all the way down, lifting your head and heart up. Do it one more time. Well done. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, and come to downward dog. All right, just take a moment here in the downward dog. Deep breath in and out. Now back to plank. So all you need to do is to shift your body weight forward. Okay? Now what I want you to do, bring one arm a little bit closer to the other and twist for me to a side plank. So option here, you can drop the knee to the floor, but you need to lift those hips really high. So this is one option here. Make sure that hand is directly underneath your shoulders and we lift up. If you can, for 3, 2, 1. Come back to plank, back to downward. Woo. Forward into plank. And now you're going to do it to the other side. So you're going to see my back and my back, but lift it to the side. And focus on lifting your hips nice and high. Option to drop your knee to the floor. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Back to downward dog. Breathe. Come forward into plank. Drop all the way down to the floor to Cobra. Half belly. Right. Tuck your toes under, lift up, and come to a comfortable seated position. Very good?
I think so.
Good.
If you want to sit cross-legged, that's absolutely fine. Just sit there for me. Whew, nice and tall. So imagine that someone pulling you through your head all the way up to the ceiling. Opposite arm to opposite knee and twist for me. Breathe. So when we do all those exercises, sometimes you hold your breath because it's difficult. But the key in yoga is to focus on your breathing because it's very, very important. Twist to the other side. Well done. I'd like you to lie down on your back, if you can. And bring one knee to the chest. The other one can be extended or bent. It's up to you. If you don't have much space, you can always leave it bent. Take a deep breath in and out. Focus on your breathing and calming that heart rate, and you're breathing all the way down. Now, once you've got that leg to your chest, I just want you to twist. So do your spinal twist.
Oh, yeah.
Just hold on there. I'm just gonna move the camera a little bit. Just spinal twist nicely. There you go. Lovely.
Are you keeping your shoulders on the ground at the same time? So
yeah. So try to keep your shoulders on the floor at the same time. So if you can't go too far, it doesn't matter. But the key is to keep the shoulders firmly onto the floor. Come to center and switch side. So one leg either bent or lengthen. The other one come into your chest. Squeeze into your chest. It's massaging your sacrum as well. And I'll take the spinal twist to the other side. Deep breath in and out. Let everything go. Come to center. And I want you to hug both knees and bring them to your chest. And rotate tiny bit side to side to massage your lower back. And it's just really good. Little stretch here. I like this because I can feel it on my lower back nicely. Little circles here. And now once you're lying down, I want you to extend your legs and arms to the side. Just lay there like you would on a beach.
Oh.
Right. I want you to stay here a little bit. Just lay there, really, really relaxed. I'm just going to be talking through a few things. So just laying there, really relaxed, arm to the side or anywhere you want to put your arms, just lay there. And take a really deep breath in. And really deep breath out and just melt into your mat. Nice and slowly. While you're breathing, if you don't feel your belly swelling, you are not breathing deep enough. So you need to breathe into your diaphragm, which is just above your belly, just between your ribcage and belly. So make sure that your belly expands as you breathe in. And then once you let it all out, you should feel a great kind of flat in your belly and feeling really, really good. And keep breathing nice and slowly, nice and gently. And with every breath you take in, then the longer one comes out. And when it comes out, I want you to let everything go. I want you to think of what you need to do today and how you're going to do it today. Are you going to be calm? Are you going to be more relaxed? Are you going to take better steps and better choices? Don't stress. It doesn't help. I know it doesn't help. I've stressed myself, but try not to stress. Take a deep breath in and a big, big, big one out. I want to gently roll to the side and then just gently come up to me. And hopefully you should feel a little bit better, a little bit more energized and relaxed at the same time.
Oh, definitely. That was really good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. That was so needed. What a better way to celebrate the LGBT History Month that has a theme of mind, body, and spirit. What a better way than talking to you guys about things we love, which is sport. Fantastic LGBTQ people in sport. Talking about nutrition, which I think all three of us are really passionate about, and doing exercise with you, Misha. Thank you. I really enjoy that.
No,
Yeah,
thank
thanks.
you. Thank you for letting me do it.
I was definitely a bit wobbly, so hopefully nobody was following me whilst we were doing it. But it was really good.
Yeah, people think that yoga is easy until they do it, until they try it. I thought yoga is just stretching. It isn't. It can be really hard work. So yeah, and also
this was a small part, and it was easy and hard at the same time. But there's so many different ways of doing yoga. There's intermediate, there's crazy ones to do. There's so much to choose from.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. That was a fantastic piece for our LGBT History Month. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was lovely
Right.
and doing this.
Yeah, we'll see you for another exercise, perhaps.
Absolutely, yeah.
Look forward to it. See you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye.